and then I just
Uh,
thought I'd come back in. But you're
I
here
will
now, so great.
actually. I check at at 2 o'clock that I didn't receive any comment that someone will join my meeting. That's why it become a little delay. I talked to with professor. He also told me if there is no one, it doesn't matter that if you can give your presentation next day or on next Monday. So that's why. So whenever I got your message, that's why I came online.
Okay, excellent. So fire away. I'll just listen here.
Okay, that is great. Nice to meet you.
You too.
I don't know. There is some problem in your voice.
Are we good? Can you hear?
Yeah, it's okay now. It's okay. Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm Najibullah Himmat. I have master in business administration. So I am originally from Afghanistan. So we have been there in Canada since 2024, month of February. So I start PIDP at Vancouver Community College and July, I guess July 2024. And I'm happy to complete this course as soon as possible and start my own career. And what's your good name, sir?
Oh, I'm Gordon.
Okay.
I teach at Camosun in Victoria.
Okay. Currently you're in Victoria, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And I also have a teaching background around like 10 or 8 year in business administration.
Okay. Good.
Let's share the slide today. We are going to discuss about very important topic, which is like belong to business administrations, and also we can say psychology, and also it is important for collaborative learning programs. So there is some misunderstanding. So did you can you see the slide now?
Not yet. It's still black. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Are you able to see now?
Yes, I can
Okay.
see it now.
Uh, the topic which I'm going to discuss for the course PIDP 3340, that is no to group grading. So group grades are often used to assess collaborative work, but do they reflect individual effort? Let's explore why it's time to rethink about group grading. Collaborative learning, or we can say collaborative working, is good, but sometimes we have some misunderstanding about collaborative work and collaborative grading. Some people thinking that collaborative grading and collaborative work as the same, but there are some important points, some important tips that we should understand. In this presentation I will go through the disadvantages of group grading, and what is group grading, or we can say that collaborative group grading. And also I would be talking alternative way of grading the student whenever the student work at the same group, or they are working for the same project. We have to ask ourselves, whenever we grade all the student, that is good for collaborative work, but do they promote fairnesses? Do they promote motivations? Do they promote, like we can say, transparency? The problem with group grading, the problem, or we can say the disadvantages, whenever we are giving the same mark to all the students. First, we have to understand what is group grading. Group grading means giving the same mark to all the students who are working at the same project, or for the same assignment, or for the same monograph, or grand project, whatever we can say. What are the problem? Free riding. Some student contribute less. Free riding uh, mean that you didn't pay for anything. You didn't pay any effort, but you get benefit. We can take the best example of free riding. Whenever we feel very hot because the time of summer and we enter to the superstore or somewhere else, we benefit from the cold weather of AC. It is mean free riding. Collaborative grading, whenever we give the same mark to all students, it is mean free riding. It promote free riding. It mean without paying any effort, without paying any like cost, the students, some of the students get benefit of that grading. Penalizing top performers. I have good example of these penalizing top performance. Whenever I was completing my master of business administrations, we assign one project for three persons. So me, my two other friend. So I remember like very clear that they didn't work a single for that project. So even during the presentation, we were supposed to present our work. My friend called me, Najib, what is the topic of presentation today? Even our professor was there. It means that is penalizing, like demotivating those who work for the project. Fail to reflect individual learning. So if two, three guys are working in the same group and they are thinking we will receive the same marks, so one maybe study work tough and the person may reflect whatever learned, but those who waiting for free riding may not have any reflection over the learning journey. It will create group conflict. So if we give the same mark to all the students, that will create a lot of problem, conflict between the classmate, between the students. So we should think about group grades or group grading, and we should find alternative way of group grading. The research-based criticism. Some research already has been done about group grading. Johnson 1998, equal grading reduce accountability and responsibility. So whenever we give the same mark to all the student, no one will take the responsibility. Everyone will waiting for free riding. Brookhart 2013, assessment must reflect individual achievement and learning. So if there is same mark for all the students for the same project, so everyone will wait to get free something and no one will get responsibility, take responsibility, and majority of the student may not even reflect what they have learned during the program or during the course or during the specific project. Findings show lower motivation in fairness is concerned. As I already explained that group grade penalize the top performers, those who work, those who are topper. That is not fair for them. So there will be lower motivation level. Even those top performers will also not show their what we can say motivation in next project. So these are the problem or the concern that we have to rethink about group grading, and we should find alternative way to grade the student, even if the student work as a collaboratively or even if they work at the same group, we should find different method and methodology as a teacher to grade the student like fairly, and we should concern about fairnesses in motivation in future. Some people may have misunderstand about collaborative working and collaborative and group grading. It doesn't mean that if we donate to group grade or we should not grade the student at the same marks, it doesn't mean that we should not work as a collaborative. Collaborative working is so important in education sector. So everyone should focus on collaborative learning, as in course 3340 focuses on collaborative and group activity. So it doesn't mean that we should not accept collaborative study, but we should focus as a teacher to find different way, different methodology to attract students to work collaboratively, and we should track their work and their what we can say contribution to the specific project. Better alternative to group grades. So there are four alternatives as I find for my presentation. We should focus individual grades based on contribution. So even if the student work at the same group as a collaboratively, we should grade them individually based on their contribution. So how the instructor should know who worked how much. So there are a different methodology. I will explain that in next slide. Second one is self-assessment reflect on personal input. As we already work for the course, different course of PIDP about reflection. So we should force students to reflect whatever they have learned. So through their reflections, we can realize and we can grade them and we can score whatever they have learned during group activity. Peer assessment, anonymous, honest feedback. So this will work also. Perfect. Instructor observation and check. Sometimes instructor also have different methodology to check the student, to observe the student, what the student learned, what is the achievement of the student after collaborative or group activity. So these are the method or alternative way of grading the student if they are working for the same project. What to assess instead? So whenever the students are working for the same project, we should work to assess collaboration skills, what collaboration skill they have. Do they have the specific skill to work in group? Critical thinking group work. So different methodology we can find as an instructor to understand the student, like critical thinking and their achievement, communication and problem solving, individual understanding of project goals. I have added some real world example. Example number one, individual grading in group project. So whenever 2-3 guys are working or 2-3 students are working for the same project, for example, business simulation project, peer assessment should be like 30 mark. It is assumption. Individual report with mark like 40%. Group presentation, as we cannot like give the presentation score separately, it doesn't matter if we score the student 30% like collaboratively. We will have greater engagement and fair outcome. At least we should consider 70% like based on peer assessment and individual reports. Only if there is 30% of the student at the same mark for the same project, it doesn't matter. It is based on the research. Example number two, individual grading in group project, engineering capstone project, university program assign individual grade based on peer review, logs, and supervisor input, reducing free riding. So whenever the engineering student working for the same project, their supervisor or different supervisor or instructor, whoever is there, they assign them logs and different methodology, peer assessment, peer review to attract their activity and work. And based on the final report the instructor receive and give the student the marks or grade. Example number 3, individual grading in group project, weighted contribution in business class. Individual grade adjusted using peer evaluations, self-reflection, participation logs, Google Docs, MS Teams promote fairnesses. As I already explained that we should find different alternative to grade the student. Maybe some of the instructor or some of us know how to track the student contribution. There are different methodology. We can take one example, Google Doc. I may not have time to explain each terms technically, only I will talk about Google Documents. So whenever 2-3 students are like a group of people working for the same project, for example, Excel sheet, there is some Excel sheet, they need to insert or do data entry. As a teacher, we need to track their contribution, who insert or entry more. We can use Google Doc. We can go directly to Google Drive. Through Google Drive, we can open the file and share the file through the Google Doc to the specific students or to the group people. So whenever we share through Google document, so if the students or the member open the document and work as much as he want to do, and then submit or then close the file, after that, whenever we open the file, we can see who worked how much. I use this technically and saw the result as well. Useful tool for assessment group. As I explained, there are different tools that teacher, instructor can track the students or the contribution of the group member whenever they are working as a collaborative for the group project or for the group assignment. The first one is Google Document. Through Google Drive, we can share the file. Through their email, whenever they open and work for that file, we can track and see whatever work has been done by who. Peer grade, IO, input, output for peer review. This is also one of the method and one of the tools through that we can also find or track the students or the group member activity. Microsoft Team activity logs, reflective journal and logs. These are the methods that we can use to track the students' activity whenever they work as a collaboratively and for the same project. We should follow these methods through these tools and grade them or mark them whatever based on their contribution or based on their work, even if they are working from the same project. Summary of key point. Group grade can be unfair and demotivating. As we already explained, if we are assigning the student for a specific activity and we give them the same mark for all the students, so that will be unfair and demotivating. At the next project, the student or the topper will never show their contribution. Use collaborations to teach, not to grade unfairly. As we are talking about collaboration, collaborative learning. Collaboration learning to teach, we have to teach the student like collaboratively. But we should not grade them collaboratively. Assess individual contribution, process, and learning. Always we should see the student contribution through different methodology and different techniques, different tools through peer review, through Google Documents, Microsoft systems, and different methodology through observations. We should understand the contribution of the students based on the contribution of the students, and we should assign or give them the specific mark or grade. It doesn't matter if we consider only 30 or 25 or 20% collaboratively or same scoring. Conclusion. Collaborations teach us to work together. Collaborations teach us to work together, not to accept the outcome regardless of effort. This is the main point of my presentation. Collaborations or collaborative learning teach us to work together, but do not accept the same output. Say yes to collaboration, no to group grades. We should accept collaboration, but we should say no to group grades. Reference. These are the list of reference which I added in my presentations. Brockhart's 2013, How to Create and Use Rubric for the Assessments and Grading, ASCD. Johnson's, as we already explained, 1998, Collaborative Learning and Social Interdependence Theory. He explained very nicely. Filter R.M. Brains, 2004, Turning Student Group into Effective Team, Journal of Student Center Learning. So, I have completed my presentation. So simply I will go through my presentation. As I explained very fast, there was no interaction between me and other friends because of, I don't know, there were only one person in my presentations. Today, the presentation which I have delivered, it was for the course PIDP 3340, no to group grading. So in this course, we talk about collaboration learning and collaborative teaching and collaborative study. So collaborative learning is the most important in education sector, in education for empowering the students collaboratively. That is good. It will create interactions of different people, but we should never accept or we should never give the student collaboratively grades or collaborative marks. We should accept a collaborative teaching, but not collaborative grading. And we should give the students based on their contributions. If they are working for the same project, there are different methods and different observations that we can understand whatever contribution has been done by specific students. Based on that contribution, we can grade the students. So let's go for asking any questions. So sir, if you have any questions regarding my presentation, actually I was in doctor appointments. I come so early, I directly start my presentations. That's why I was in hurry. I hope it didn't disturb you.
No, I'm glad I came back. So I've got a question on peer reviews. So you're suggesting that a certain mark should be based on the student peers giving each other's marks. How do you, if you've done this, how do you stop the collusion between the students where they're just saying, "Oh yeah, well we'll give everybody 10 out of 10," and okay, you're going to give me 10 out of 10. Okay, I'll give you 10 out of 10.
Actually, whenever I explain about peer review, in peer review, honesty will be the first thing, the first point. So I'm not sure that it is based on the students and based on environments. In some environment, if we see there is competition, tough competition between the student, that when they will work, and even if there is like a friendly environment, it won't be able to work. If there is friend environment, still student will give like full score or full grade to each other. And if there is tough competitions, intentionally student will decrease this other student's scoring and grading. This type of method will actually work on the skill of the instructor. Based on the skill of the instructor, if the instructor or the teacher is having the skill which control or which can handle the process, that will be suggested. If the student like not comfortable and feel not comfortable to go for peer review and peer grading, that won't be suggested as per my opinion. If you want to add about this method, I will listen to you because you may have more experience about these all things.
I was wondering whether you've had experience where you haven't had this, because a lot of times you'll hear it's like, oh yeah, we'll just, yeah, everybody 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, dum
Yes,
dum
yes,
dum.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so I did note this peergrade.io. Have you used that? That's an online thing? Have you any experience with that? That was in your presentation.
About what, so?
Peergrade.io. Whether you've used that tool or not.
No, I didn't study about that. If you have any knowledge about that, you can, if you share, that will be pleasure for me to learn from your experience.
Okay, I'm going to have to look at that one, because that might be a way to anonymize the responses. Yeah. And I also have a comment about using the activity logs and the version history as a proxy for figuring out how much work people have done. I just have the comment that be careful about what you measure, because if you turn that into the goal, people start gaming the system, and if you're just looking at number of times somebody's added things to the document, while they could just be making busy work, right? So,
Yes, actually, these tools, which I already explained about peer review, like Google Docs, these all tools can work in specific situation, not all at all
okay,
time.
right,
If we think about Google Documents, it won't work in all situation. If we talk about like peer review, it won't work all the time. The best thing is the instructor and the teacher observations to find the way and methods and tools to understand the contribution of each students. The technology never work for
right,
grading the student.
agreed. All right, cool, thanks. That's all I got.
Thank you so much for being with me. It was really pleasure for me. Thank you so much, sir. If you have any questions, I would be happy to share.
I may follow up in the forum.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye.